unbridled joy at the house. So this is the thing that gives me the most pleasure since I've been doing the renovation, which either means I need to get out more or there's something not quite right about me. Anyway, this is just thrilled to decide to use what was the old exterior single glazed window, French window, and use it in the master bedroom to create a large window space with ventilation for natural light. Means I didn't have to put a Velux in the other side. And I just thought it's great. It's out there, isn't it? So maybe some of you would be horrified by this. I don't know, but I think it's a brilliant idea. And like I say, it's the thing that's given me the most joy since I've been doing a renovation. And finishing the roof is up there with that as well. But this is great. And the window itself is in remarkably good condition considering it's a few decades old. It's all in wood. It's all single glazed, so it's no use now for an exterior window, and it's not worth trying to put secondary double glazing on there or faff about like that. Better to reutilise it, and this is what I'm doing here. So preparing for this. So now you can see the size of the window that's going to be going in, the right hand side there of the frame. Just putting in my bits of what's left of my insulation between the stud work. I'm a pack short of that, and I'm a couple of packs short for the bedrooms, the thicker stuff, the 200 mm or 8-inch insulation. I'll need to get some more of that, and then when it comes to doing the kitchen, I'll need some even more for that. However, because we're concentrating on the upstairs, it's just a question of using up whatever I've got, use it all up, and then organise some more stuff. So yeah, so the window, somebody's had to go up to trying to re-putty it, although they haven't used putty. It's a bit of a state. So it will obviously get sanded back down to the wood. It will get all the old crap that's around the glazing will come off, and I'll either re-putty it or do something, bead it where it needs to, and then it'll be freshly painted, and I think it would be superb, and it just fits that slot fresca almost perfectly. So there would be questions like, well, people coming up the stairs are going to look in the bedroom. Well, you're not going to get much of a view, to be honest with you, because you'd have to be practically at the top of the stairs, and you'd only just be seeing in the top left, the bottom left-hand part of the window. And there's things that have been produced, blinds and stuff that you can put in place, shutters, which will alleviate that problem. It wouldn't need to shutter the entire window or put a blind on the entire window. If you do the first third of it, that would be sufficient if you're looking for absolute privacy. Though who's going to be coming up and peeking through there, I've got no idea. Anyway, it also means that I can access, as ever, the Velux from the bedroom. So you can control the ventilation coming in to the house and coming through into that stairwell and into the bedroom. So here's the frame, chunky bit of kit, all in hardwood. Obviously it fits in because I've measured it. And then it's just a question of getting some screws and stuff in just to hold it in place before I put the plasterboard on. So it's a glorious size, glorious frame, and it'll be come up and treat. Probably bring it all in white, I'd imagine. I prefer wood. I prefer all my woodwork in white generally. Skirting boards, architrave, stuff like that, and ceilings always in white. There's not another colour other than white for ceilings in my book. So getting on with this, getting some screws fitted into it so that we can progress on and get some plasterboard cut and put around so that you can get a feel of what it'll look like from within the bedroom space. I personally, I'm just overjoyed with my left field decision. I've got a feeling I've seen it somewhere else, but I can't think where you've got sort of an internal window like this. I'm sure there are other people that have done a similar sort of thing, and it just, to me, it just makes sense, because also you've got, when you've got the heating on downstairs and you've got the wood burner going, again, you've got a way of, obviously the heat's going to rise, it's going to come up through the stairwell, it's going to come into these bedroom spaces. But you can also then vent. You can close the windows off if it's getting too hot. You can open the windows up in the summer, you can close them in winter. A multitude of applications for this. All right. So, and the other thing is that obviously when the windows are open, normally French windows open inwards, and you need to ensure that you've got at least a wall that will accommodate the fact that it's opening inwards. And on the left hand side, as you're looking at it, it will do that because you've got enough space. And on the right hand side, you've got the return there where the new door frame will be going in, but you'll have a partition of wall before that, which will accommodate the window being totally open there if it needed to be totally open. So it just works a treat, and it's another nice aspect to the house and the history of the house. So although this window won't be the original from when the house was built, it's obviously it's done its time as an exterior window, and done its time extremely well. And it's nice not to just chop it up and take it down a tip or burn it or whatever. It's nice to actually reuse it. It's no good using it on the outside anymore, like I said, because it's not double glazed and all the rest of it. But for an internal window, it's superb. There is another one downstairs on the left-hand side. The frame's in slightly worse condition. I don't know why, but it is. But we'll see if we can't utilise that somewhere as well within the house, or if not, in one of the barns when we come to do renovation of the barns. So there's always a second use generally for most things. It's such a pity when certain people just toss everything straight down a déchetterie or burn it or whatever. It's unnecessary in this day and age. There's enough wastage anyway in the world without getting rid of perfectly usable stuff. So every last bit of insulation has been used in a final few cuts. Cutting it, obviously, just use a Stanley knife, craft knife. To that, the opening there is slightly wider than 60 centimeters, so I actually turned it sideways on, which doesn't make any difference at all as far as the insulation quality is concerned. It's just because when you're looking below, I've put some extra supports on below because the window's fairly heavy. So I've doubled up the supports on the bottom underneath the window frame there, and that means then that you've only got two sections that are 60 centimetre, and then the other ones are slightly smaller. So again, it's just a question of cutting them to size, putting them in, and then we can get on with the plasterboard. You can see on the left-hand side there as well the final interior door, which is waiting to get fitted. So didn't quite have time to do on this particular day, and that'll be another job going in. And like I said, because I believe I've got enough plasterboard now upstairs, I hold the whole 25 or 26 boards up over a couple of days. The first day I did 18, the second day I did another 8. So that should be sufficient to close off. I'll leave the side with which is the shower room. I'll leave one side, the bedroom side, open for the time being until I get that fitted, until I get the shower in and the toilet, and then I can close that up. So in there at the moment, the sort of offcuts that have been put in, it doesn't necessarily join up, but it doesn't really matter because that area will all get tiled anyway. So it's really just a question of giving me a surface to tile to. And then the opposite side, which is the kitchen side, will have the cob put in. So it'll be quite a nice, again, feature. So with this, we're maintaining a certain amount of history as you're looking around the house, or what we lost with the partition wall between myself and my neighbours, because it was just there too many gaps and holes and everything else. It just needed to get boarded off, which is what I've done. and insulated as well. And I did use some bitumen just to shield the area from any unwanted weather that might be blowing in from my neighbour's side. And then the insulation went on, and then the plasterboard and frame went in, and it wasn't anywhere near level anyway, as nor is the other side, which is the petition, which will be seen from where you come up the stairs, and between the master bedroom and the second bedroom. That will remain as cob, which is quite nice, but it does lean heavily to one side. It's nowhere near plumb. It's out by several inches or a good few centimetres, which isn't critical because it's all tied in. So it's not going to be going anywhere. But made cutting the plasterboard quite interesting. On that side of it, you got plasterboard that sort of runs from nothing at all up to about 12 centimetres, or about 4.5 inches. Right, so first bit of board going in underneath the window, so you can get a feel for how it's going to look as a wall. And obviously, like I say, you've got to return then on your right hand side as you're coming back towards into the room. Then you've got the door, and then you've got to return back to the partition between the bedrooms. So that's that'll be the first part of the corridor, and the second part of the corridor. I've got the 3 doors for the shower room, bedroom 3 and bedroom 2. So it's all coming together. You need to, like I say, you need to get organised with a few more materials, a few more screws and stuff, but we're getting there. So fairly soon, there you go. A bit of ventilation. See how easy it is to just get at that Velux there. All right, I am 6 foot tall, but if you're a bit smaller, you can always put a step there, temporary step, to get you up. If you need to open the window, you can also open it obviously from the stairwell side as well, or close it as need be. So that's that, and then fairly soon we'll be able to see the 2 windows in place, still in the green paint that it was originally in, still with the crappy sort of non-putty that's been put around the glazing, which is a right old mess. But that's just something that's fairly easy to come off, and then a damn good sanding down and a damn good clean to get all the marks off the windows. And yeah, it should look a treat. And with a couple of blinds on the bottom sort of third of the window, that gives you privacy as well. So here we go. This is my fantastic French window with a tiny bit of sound involved. So you can see how the window opens. You can close it entirely against the wall either side. You can get at the Velux, you can open it, you can shut it. Everything's in good working order. The central bolt that fits top and bottom works extremely well. Got a beautiful little handle on it. Turn that bump and it's closed. And look at that, what a treat. How excited can you get with a single glazed window? For me, it's very exciting. Anyway, that's coming to the end of this video. Thanks ever so much if you take the time to watch. Thanks to all those guys recently that bought me coffee. It's really, really sweet of you. And I'll catch you on the next video.